light heavyweight division. So the winner of this fight either looking to unify against Sarah Shurich, or as I mentioned during Shea Keneally's ring walk, they want to go after the winner of our main event.
Yeah, that's why it's a huge moment for Shea Keneally. I think if you're Danielle Perkins, unification is on your mind. It really doesn't make any kind of sense to have her go back in with Claressa Shields the way the last fight ended. You're Shea Keneally, undefeated, haven't fought Claressa Shields yet, fighting with a world title. You don't want to just win this fight. You want to look good for this fight. You want to win this fight more decisively against Claressa Shields than against Danielle Perkins. Not an easy feat to do. Shields did dominate Perkins when they met. But Shea Keneally extremely confident going into this fight week. Yeah, I think it's a pretty good clash of styles. Shea Keneally is a natural counter-puncher. She likes to kind of bounce her toes, fight a little bit off that back foot. Danielle Perkins likes to come forward. She wants to mix it up a little bit.
Good right hand down the middle there from Keneally, but back comes Perkins with an even better combination. A left hand down the middle and then wipes the table with that right hook.
You didn't even see that. Ooh. Good shot there. And I was going to say, Maddox, you didn't even see the physicality between the two. Yes, they're the same height, yes, they have a similar reach, but Perkins looks to carry a lot more muscle in the upper body.
Perkins told us in fighter meetings that she felt that Keneally's head movement was too repetitive.
And a bit awkward.
And a bit awkward.
Good right hand.
10 seconds.
10 seconds of the opening round. Good action in both directions here. In round one of this world title fight.
I've been impressed with Keneally's
Time.
willingness. Coming back to the corner after that first 2-minute round. We know that the pressure from Danielle Perkins is not going to let up. She was forced to fight very fast right out of the gate, which is not how Shea Keneally normally likes to fight. She also wants to be more on the front foot here. But that Perkins pressure, right up there for Perkins on the inside.
Yeah, and Max, there's also kind of the pressure of the moment, right? We've talked about how, especially in this weight neighborhood, you kind of have your introductory fights, and then all of a sudden you're against the other elite fighters. You don't get a lot of time to get your feet wet, and certainly that was the case for Danielle Perkins before the Shield. It was the case for Keneally, who was right in the fire here against Perkins.
We got a shootout here in round two.
Good right hand there from Perkins, who has a menacing look on her face right now.
And that's the thing, you know, we mentioned that breathing in between rounds of Shea Keneally. She's not used to this kind of pace. Perkins is. This is how she likes to fight. And to your point, Corey, it is sink or swim for a lot of these women very early in their career. Where Danielle Perkins, at just 5-0, went up against Claressa Shields with no, real experience on the level that Claressa Shields is on.
1-2-1 from Keneally a moment ago, but back comes Perkins. Sharp left hand. Good overhand right there for Perkins as well.
Confidence in Perkins throwing here. Less and less coming back from Keneally.
Another good right hook does Perkins to the body, then back up top once more. Dominant round from Danielle Perkins, who just blasted Keneally with a hard left hand with Keneally
10
on
seconds.
the ropes, and that will do it for the round.
Is an action fighter. She's going to be pressing the action all throughout. But with the body language of Shea Keneally, it's not great right now. The stamina of Shea Keneally, as we're into this third round, just doesn't look the same as it does with Danielle Perkins. Perkins came out with any rank hard for the second round.
Well, this, I think, is a meaner version of Danielle Perkins than we've seen in the past. Obviously, that Shields fight was one-sided in the other direction, but even in those developmental fights with Danielle Perkins, you didn't see this kind of an edge to Perkins that we're seeing right now.
But I think even in defeat, you learn a lot. Yes. You know, if you take on an opponent that is number one pound for pound, even if you get beat, even if you get dropped in the final round, you gain something from that, right? You spent 10 rounds with a living legend. And she actually spoke about the positives in the fighter meeting about that experience. Good left hand there for Perkins. Right in the face of Shea Keneally, giving her no time to breathe. And this is good scouting by her coming into this fight. Now maybe she would be fighting this aggressive anyway, but her willingness to keep the pressure, stay in the face of Shea Keneally, it's paying off now, and I gotta believe it's gonna pay off in these later rounds.
This is that inside work that Perkins was talking about yesterday in fighter meetings as well. And those rounds spent with Darius Fulgham and others, the directive from her new trainer, Dominic Wynn, to be more physical with Perkins, clearly paying off.
And we're seeing it here. All three of these rounds. A lot of aggression, just fighting on the inside, overpowering and really bullying Shea Keneally once her back is on the ropes. Really trying to step in with the right hand.
Perkins managing to swim with that shot. You see the smile on her face.
Now, Perkins blocked one of those shots. Good on Keneally, followed up with a 1-2 of her own.
Good, sharp right hook there from Perkins a moment ago. And now a little shoe shine to the body. Keneally again, trapped against the ropes in the closing seconds of the round.
Time.
By the time Claressa Shields, I would argue, Chris, that selling tickets is more important than a world championship. I mean, we saw it in, particularly Ryan Garcia before he won a world title last night. He was that guy. Even the likes of Conor Benn, someone whose popularity is bigger than their in-the-ring accolades. Henry Garcia said my good friend who loves my show.
Fancy fan there from Perkins a moment ago, who is feeling herself right now. And justifiably so. It has been a terrific start for Perkins.
Having fun in there. Back-to-back fights, we have seen the same thing from Bryce Taylor last time out. The footwork, the fancy footwork, the enjoyment. Seeming to sense the moment here. So Perkins got to be careful. It's 2-minute rounds, and Shea Keneally is a very good counterpuncher, and she is landing well in these receivers. Some of them very eye-catching, like that.
I think, guys, at least in spurts there for Keneally, doing what she should be doing in that moment as Perkins gets a little more playful. Keneally just sticking to the basics, landing to the body, landing a sharp shot like that.
Keneally's actually having a good round.
Yeah.
He's landed some really good clean shots, and Perkins has not done a whole lot besides the dance moves. Shea Keneally, allow her to do that. Allow her to showboat on the outside. When she comes in, pot shot. Again, very short round. 20 seconds left, and I'm with Chris Algieri. I think Shea Keneally's winning this round. Not a lot of offense from this.
Just for that one. Good right hook for Perkins. And again, these closing moments. Torturous for Shea Keneally in what was otherwise
10
a
seconds.
good bounce-back round.
In the books. That's one thing you don't want to. Keneally, excuse me.
Round 5 underway. Shea Keneally looking to hold on to her WBA light heavyweight title here. Good bounce back round in round 4, with the exception of those closing 12 seconds or so. And Danielle Perkins looking back to form. She lands a good sharp left hand. Whoa! All right, Maddox, how do you have this one scored so far?
Yeah, I've got 2 rounds to 2, 38-38. I thought Shea Keneally just edged out for that first round. Danielle Perkins, a clear winner in the last 2. And yeah, she had that nice flurry at the end of the 4th round. I thought most of the 4th round was controlled by Shea Keneally. I'd like to see Perkins be a little more disciplined here. I don't think she should be showboating quite this much. She's a tight herself.
Once again, Keneally sticking with the basics, the right hand connected there a moment ago. You see the swelling and how it's developing on Keneally's face.
And this isn't a situation like Bryce Taylor had the last fight, where he completely outclassed his opponent. This is a real fight for Danielle Perkins. Also, just the way the fight was going, it was the constant pressure that was breaking Shea Keneally down. All this showboating is allowing her to rest and recover, keeping her in the fight.
Keneally, a high-level athlete even before boxing, much like Danielle Perkins, who was a top 10 NCAA rebounder one season at St. John's. Keneally, a field athlete in throwing events. The hammer on the right hand from Keneally a moment ago, chopping down towards Perkins.
10 seconds.
Left hand again there from Perkins as the seconds tick away and we enter the second
Time.
between the Keneallys as they try to hold on to their world title. As Keneally walks in the front door trying to back up Perkins.
You see the physicality again, Perkins able to just push Shea Keneally off her when they got too close.
There from Perkins.
Keneally seems to be having trouble with the length. I don't think she's used to having anyone quite this long because even a jab from so far away. Yeah, if I'm Danielle Perkins, I'm using that length. She landed 3 or 4 jabs in a row right there. Not the sexiest of shots, not power shots necessarily, but effective. And it certainly opens up the opportunity. Keneally has to get out of her game plan. She can really get too reckless. That's when you hit her with that counter left. Also, Chris, there was very little reaction from Keneally in those jabs. You just hated it.
As we pointed out, that damage mounting up on the face of Shea Keneally.
He's down.
Keneally! Oh my goodness, she is leaking blood.
Brutal.
He just got up at 7. Yes, we have a new champion.